Hello students, this is Dr. Nisha Vaishnavi, your psychology teacher. Today the topic which we are going to start, before that I will tell you a story. Then you have to guess what is the topic. There was a king. He was being defeated by another king, and the king has to exile into the forest with his army. Now the king is alone in the forest and thinking day and night what to do to get his kingdom back. So one day he was lying, and what does he see? That an ant, a very small ant, is carrying a load of food on his back and climbing the wall. And the ant is falling down. Not once, twice, thrice, 8 times that small ant fell down from the wall. Now the king is thinking what to do, what this ant will do. Finally, 9th time, the ant tried again and she was able to climb the wall easily. This was the thing which made the king to think what to do. If this ant can do this and achieve what she wants, so why can't I? So you have to tell me now, what was there in the mind of the king that made him to get up and fight with the other king, and finally he won his kingdom back. So what was that? Yes, you guessed right. That was called motivation. That motivated the king to take that particular action. King took that action and he won the battle. Same way, in our life, there are so many things that motivates us and that compel us to take steps, decisions in our life. That we are going to understand what is motivation. So let's figure out in our class 11th chapter, motivation and emotion. In today's class I am just covering motivation. So motivation in nutshell says the behavior that moves me. What is convincing me to move to do that particular task. So that means the motivation moves my behavior, and that motivation decides my future also. Yes, it tells me what I am going to do in future. It is going to tell me that if I am doing that particular task continuously, so what would be my future outcome. So predictions, that is called prediction. Your motivation would determine the prediction, means your future. So how does this work? What all things help us in motivating? So there are majorly 5 things. There are majorly 5 factors that motivates us. You think which motivates you. If nothing of them motivates you, so it's very difficult to live and there is no way to function. There is no aspiration to achieve something. So I would say introspect yourself and figure out of these 5 what motivates you. Okay, so let's start from the first one. The first one is your instinct. Instinct is basically decided by the biological factor. For an example, what is the instinct of the animals? When they are hungry, they kill other animal. That is their natural instinct. Okay, and if we see what are the instincts among human beings, so we see some people are very kind. Whenever they see anyone in a helpless position, they come forward and help. So that is their basic instinct. So instinct among human beings could be of various types. They could be lazy, they could be aggressive, they could be helpful, as I have just discussed. So the first thing that motivates me is called my instinct. So what kind of instinct you keep in yourself? Think of yourself. What is your behavior? So this is the first thing. The second is your drive. What drives you to take that particular action? For an example, you are fat and you want to now have a very good body shape. What will you do then? Well, that drives you to do exercise, that drives you to have a healthy food, that drives you to do the dieting. So that drive what you want to take action, what you want to achieve that. Okay, so second thing that motivates me to take any action is called the drive, that asks me to do that, right? And the third one is your needs. Third category is need. Need means what? Need is basically the basic necessities of life. Okay, and some way we call it a deficit of life also. Yes, deficit of life, because we all work. If you ask someone, why do you work? Because we want to maintain this deficiency of our life, means we want to overcome from it. So basically some bottom lines like food, shelter, clothes are the basic needs of our life that motivates us to work, else nobody will work. Okay, so these are the fundamental things. What do you need in your life? So that need helps you to arouse, you get up and do that particular task. So that motivates you. Needs motivate you to do that particular task. And the next one is your goal. What do you want to achieve? What are your desires? What are your aspirations? So they are different from needs. Needs are deficit of life that motivates you to do something, but goals are something which you want to that is target of your life. In my life, entire life, I want to take up this, I want to do that. So the fourth one is your goal. It could be anything. It could be short term goal, it could be long term goal, it could be career oriented goal, it could be a moral goal of the life that drives you, that motivates you to do that particular job. Okay, so that was the fourth one. Now the fifth one is your incentives. Have you seen in any company that employer gives incentives to the employees? If you achieve this task, your salary, 10% salary will be increased, or you will be offered a foreign abroad trip, or you will be given this and that. So those incentives and those rewards motivate you to do that particular job. So I have discussed here five factors where you have to see which motivates you, and these motivations keep on changing in our life. Something some new factor comes, then one go, some new factor comes, then one go. So this way we keep on motivating ourselves, and we keep on taking actions in our life, and which is the very basic of our life. Without that, nobody will work, nobody will take any action, nobody will do anything else, right? Now we are moving to the motivation cycle. According to motivational cycle, we are taking up need as the basic. Need basically, as I've just discussed, that this is a basic thing that motivates us to do something. Okay, so need is deficit as we discussed, so we will keep a need on the top. Then that need will take us to the drive. I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Then that is next step is arousal. You get up, you plan, you make something what you have to do by because you have to achieve, you have to fulfill that need. So after arousal, you are goal directed, you have planned out how to do, you have to get marks. So what do you do for that? That is need, no, that you have to get good marks. For that you do what? That is drive. Okay, that motivates you, aroused you, and you make plan on it. And once you make plan on it, then you start working towards that. Once you get that, you achieve that motivation, that result which you are aspiring for, then you settle down. Your one need is finished. Now after some times, new need comes up, and it keeps on happening because we all are human beings. We keep on fulfilling our needs, and new needs keep on coming. So this way new need is coming again, so we are going to start the cycle again. So need, then drive, then arousal, then your goals that you have to achieve, you are planning basically, then you are achieving that goal or planning. After that your need is satisfied, then new need is coming. So this entire cycle is called motivational cycle, which is based on needs of life, and it is applicable to all of us, right from a child to the old age person. You can see, you can check their livelihood, you can check their action. So whatever we do in life, these are basically based on the needs that we would like to fulfill. Now I would like to explain you types of motives. According to your class 11th NCERT, there are two types of motives. One is biological and other is psychological. Biological is divided into three major categories: food, that is hunger, thirst, okay, and the last is sexually desire. So the biological area I am not covering in this class, I am covering the psychological motives. Means what psychological needs of mine motivates me to take up further actions of my life. So motives are of two types, biological and psychological, and psychological motives are further divided into four categories. The first one is your called need of affiliation, psychological need. What is affiliation? You want to make friends, you want to get married, you want family, and you want parties. What all these things are? What is there? Human touch. You want to get with someone, you want to spend your time with someone. Why do you need that? You need their love, you need their care, you need their support. That affiliation is your psychological need, so that motivates you to make friends, to get married, to have a family, to have a surrounding around you with full of people. So the first thing psychologically, that you need affiliation, which helps you to make friends and your family. The second one is your need for power. Why do you need power? According to some people, they need power to look extra out of the box from others. They want to look different, they want to have their reputation, they want to see themselves as on the prestige, and they want to make their status. So they want power. That is their psychological need, that motivates them to do some work, right? So in that need for power, according to a psychologist called McClelland, which is written in your NCERT only, he says that power, how do we get that power? So sometimes we get power by reading others, okay, motivational stories, and we feel like I can do that also, I can get that power also. So just reading them, reading others, you get that psychological power according to McClelland, right? Second thing he says, we get inner motivation, okay, of power. For example, I think I am very strong body, I have a very good body, I can show my body power to others, I have this ability to show. So that psychological need of power is coming within, okay. And sometimes we want to associate ourselves with some popular organization, those who are powerful. Very good example is political parties. People would like to associate themselves with political parties because they think once they are associated with him, then their name will be highlighted. That feeling of reputation, respect from society satisfies their psychological needs. That psychological need is motivating them to be a part of that particular organization, correct? And the last one is that in psychological needs, types of motives is curiosity and exploration. What is curiosity here? I want to try new hairstyle, I want to try new dress, I just want to see how do I look. That is my curiosity. I want to know the first news of the day because I want to be knowledgeable. That is curiosity, okay. And curiosity is maximum mainly found among the children because they babble, they open everything, they break everything, they want to see what is inside that, they want to know everything. So that curiosity, that their need, psychological need, compel them to take that action, okay. Apart from this, exploration is one of the part of psychological need. For example, why sky is blue, why earth is round, why it rotates. So these were the curiosity which led to new discoveries by the people, and they were their psychological needs that motivated them to do those discoveries, to take those actions, so we can get new things out, okay. So here I have told you about the 4 types of needs, psychological needs, that helps me, that motivates me to take that particular action. I am repeating here: need for affiliation, where you would like to make friends, you want to settle in your family. Second, you need power, where you want to see your reputation, your respect in the market, in the public. Third, you want to achieve something in your life, which is achievement here means that something is your goal, as I have discussed previously. So that achievement also compels that psychological achievement. I want to have this car, I want to have this big house, because that is my sense of achievement which I can show to the others. That is my psychological needs. That is why I am working so hard day and night, okay. And the last one just I have discussed, curiosity and exploration. So these are the types of psychological motives that I have just discussed with you. Now, one last topic of the motivation from this topic is a theory of Abraham H. Maslow. He has given a very beautiful theory, and which is known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow worked basically on psychological grounds, to understand what motivates any human beings to take steps. So he made a beautiful pyramid in which there are 5 layers. Okay, so according to Abraham Maslow, he says that we all human beings on this earth work basically to satisfy our physiological needs, and these physiological needs are house, clothes and food. So bottom is your physiological needs. So I think we all work basically for that. 90% people basically work for that. Once they are satisfied with these needs, they got everything, they got house, they got clothes and they got enough income, then they move to the second step of this ladder or this pyramid, and the second one is called the safety needs. Now you would like to secure yourself in terms of law and order. You want to stay to the you want to live to the place where you have a good law and order. There is no threat to your life. Apart from this, there is no natural disaster. Okay, so second step is safety. So once you have fulfilled your basic physiological needs, second you would like to satisfy your safety needs. Once this is also satisfied, you have achieved that also, you have made a secured place for yourself to live, then the third thing is called your belongingness, right? Belongingness here means now I want to have my family. So family means you want to get settled, you want to have kids, and you want to love with them, you want to live with them with love, care, support system. So the third ladder for any human beings, see here I would like to clear, this is for individual need. So as an individual, assume that you are alone on this earth, then think for this pyramid, then you will understand, okay, this pyramid is perfectly fine. Yes, if I am alone on this earth, on this planet, so basically basic things I would like to have for myself, that is physiological, followed by safety. Then if I have everything at my disposal, I am happy, then I will have to have a family, kids. So the third is called belongingness, where you look for love, care. The fourth step of this pyramid is your esteem. Now the esteem is related to the reputation, respect. You want to get this from others. So you want to see that people are respecting you and you feel very satisfied. Okay, you have done this in your life, that is why people are respecting you. So that is again fourth level of your needs, which satisfy your all psychological and physical needs. So fourth is your esteem, where you get respect and reputation from the society. And the last layer or the last step is called your self-actualization. When everything is with you, you are happy with everything in your life, then you start your inner journey to discover yourself. What is my life all about? Why I am on this earth? What is the purpose of my life? Why humans come on this earth? So at this stage, you start meditating in deep inner, core of yourself, rather just looking and making, doing the things which is written on the first level, just making money, buying house, doing this and that. So once all four these layers are covered, so you achieve to the last one. This is called self-actualization theory. This is also known as self-actualization theory, apart from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And there is one thing which I would like to add in that. We keep on shifting from one step to other step. Assume I am on the third level, means I have a belongingness, I have a family and everything, and all of a sudden I lost my property due to any reason. Then I will come down to the bottom level, the first one, to satisfy my physiological needs. So we keep on shifting, but the saint type people have achieved all these four layers and they have actualized themselves and they have reached to the top of that. Okay, so to understand who are these people, those who have actualized themselves, they are very happy people, contented people and creative people, kind people. They fall into this category. Once you meet them, if you will talk to them, they will not talk about these layers, they will just talk about inner growth, inner self. So this way, this is an important topic from 11th point of view as well as 12th class point of view. It comes, and if you pursue psychology in higher classes, so this pyramid of needs of hierarchy of Maslow will definitely come again. So learn it properly, make a chart beautiful and write all the subheads of it, because it is going to definitely come in your exams and you will be benefited by drawing this. I hope you have understood this topic. I have covered the complete motivation part of your chapter 9 class 11th. Thank you so much.